March 10, 2022, number 3803 was posted to the Anachronisms blog by me. It's called Leg and Cucumber. As Murray finishes the dishes, he stares out the window out somewhere that isn't specific. His gaze glazes the tops of the cucumbers that have been sitting on the sill since night before last, after Jeffrey arrived home. Much later than usual, Murray scrunches up his face as he recalls from his weekly run to the food emporium. Murray twitches as he remembers back when it was the Piggly Wiggly, how his mother would drag him there in the middle of the night after waking him one time, and this he recalls vividly from what he's pretty sure would have been his very first wet dream. It was New Year's Eve. Well, that would have made it the morning of New Year's Day. He corrects himself. For some ham hocks to go with their own garden-grown black-eyed peas that she dug out of the flatbed freezer just as the clock struck 12 and the fireworks began to erupt in the distance in pyromaniacal celebration of some year that must have been at or near the mid-1970s. He felt completely destroyed by being pulled out of sleep on that particular morning, his mom practically dragging him over the floor, out the living room door, and the noise of the broken screen flapping in the cold wind as it slammed shut, by which time she had released her vice grip and had already put the key into the ignition of the Pinto station wagon with its plasticky, peely faux wood veneer. Suddenly he found himself craving ham hocks and those mushed up black-eyed peas, just the way his mother's would turn out. As far as the neighborhood's housewives' kitchen ingenuity went, his mom's was pretty much at the bottom of the list. His tummy grumbled a bit. He'd only just eaten, which was why he was all yellow-gloved and sudsy over the kitchen sink, finishing up the last of the dishes. Of course, he was still staring out at the nowhere that was their backyard now for some 20-some-odd years, and was suddenly struck by the thought of how well those cucumbers would go with Jeffrey's clunky, plump legs. He allowed himself to dwell on this thought for what he knew was an inappropriate duration, as if there was an appropriate one, before he quickly sucked in his breath, reeling at the very thought of such morbidity, and let out a whispery, scratchy yuck. Quiet, so as not to awaken the very loudly snoring Jeffrey, who had been practically twisting himself into the innards of their living room sofa, with a floral print that Murray had unbudgingly insisted upon. And then it was back to the here and now. Time for Murray to drag his man to bed, if that could even be mustered. But until he finally drops into his slumber that night, Murray had a taste that he kept trying to dig with his tongue from very near the back of the roof of his mouth, that for the life of him, he could not shake the idea that it was precisely what that of a cucumber and a certain chubby hubby's leg dish would be.